My name is Emily, and if there's one thing I've learned about my family, it's that nothing is ever ordinary. I grew up in a small town in Ohio, surrounded by rolling fields, cozy diners, and neighbors who always seemed to know what you were up to before you even did. I lived with my parents, but my two aunts, Aunt Linda and Aunt Carol, were always around, and to say they were characters would be an understatement. Linda, the older of the two, was bold, loud, and full of energy. She loved to host gatherings, wore bright floral dresses, and had a laugh so big it could shake the windows. Carol was the opposite, quieter, softer, and the type who made everyone feel at home with her calm presence. She was the aunt who baked cookies just because and taught me how to knit when I was 12. Growing up, they were like second moms to me, and honestly, I adored them both. But one particular summer Saturday, when they both called me over to their house, I had no idea they were about to rope me into one of the strangest, funniest, and most heartwarming experiences of my life. It was mid-July, and the sun was blazing overhead when my phone buzzed. "Emily," Aunt Linda's voice boomed through the receiver. "We need you to come over right now. It's urgent." "Urgent?" I asked, panicked. "Is everything okay?" She hesitated for a second. "Well, yes. But it's important. Carol, and I can't do this without you." That made me more nervous. I quickly put on sneakers, hopped in my car, and drove over. When I walked up their front steps, I half expected to find some sort of crisis. But instead, the two of them stood in the doorway with matching mischievous smiles. "What's going on?" I asked, suspicious. "We need you," Linda declared dramatically, "to join us in the talent show." I blinked. "Wait, what?" Carol clapped her hands together. "The town summer fair is next weekend, and they're holding a talent show. Linda and I signed up, but we decided it'd be way more fun if you performed with us." I stared at them. "You signed up without telling me?" "Of course," Linda said proudly. "You're the missing piece. We can't do this act without you." "What act?" That's when Carol pulled out 3 sparkling cowboy hats, each one a different shade of glitter. "Line dancing," she said with a grin. I thought they were joking. "You want me to line dance? On stage? In front of the whole town?" "Yes," they both said in unison. I burst out laughing. "You've got to be kidding me. I don't dance. I trip over my own feet." Linda waved her hand dismissively. "Details, details. We'll practice all week. It'll be fun. Come on, Emily, when's the last time we did something wild together?" Carol chimed in softly. "It's not really about the dancing, sweetheart. It's about us doing something as a family. We thought, well, with everyone so busy lately, it might be nice." That tugged at my heart. The truth was, life had been hectic. I'd been working long hours at my job, barely seeing family. And these two women had been my biggest supporters since childhood. If they wanted me in a silly dance routine, maybe I owed it to them. I sighed. "Okay, fine. But don't say I didn't warn you. I'm terrible at this." They squealed like schoolgirls and dragged me inside. For the next week, my evenings were filled with cowboy boots, laughter, and way too many wrong dance steps. We pushed the living room furniture aside, turned up old country music, and practiced until we were sweating. Linda kept shouting, "Step, kick, spin," while Carol tried to gently guide me. At one point, I tripped so hard I fell into the couch, and Linda laughed so much she had tears rolling down her face. Despite the chaos, something magical happened. Every night, as we danced and stumbled and laughed, I felt closer to them than I had in years. I started looking forward to practice, not because of the dancing, but because of the joy in the room. Finally, the day of the fair arrived. The stage was set up in the middle of the park, with string lights twinkling overhead. Families were eating cotton candy, kids were running around with painted faces, and the smell of popcorn filled the air. Backstage, my nerves kicked in. "I can't do this," I whispered. "Yes, you can," Carol said firmly, squeezing my hand. Linda adjusted her glitter hat and winked. "If we mess up, we mess up together. That's the whole point." The music started, and suddenly, we were out there under the lights. The crowd clapped along, and to my shock, I didn't trip once. "Sure, My moves weren't perfect, but we were having the time of our lives. Linda spun too fast at one point and almost lost her hat. Carol laughed so hard she missed a step, and I just tried to keep up, but the audience loved it. They cheered, clapped, and even gave us a standing ovation. By the end, we were out of breath, holding hands and grinning ear to ear. We didn't win first place. Actually, we came in third, but it didn't matter. What mattered was the memory we'd made. Later that night, as we sat on the porch eating ice cream and watching the fireflies, Linda nudged me. See? Wasn't that the best thing ever? I laughed. You know what? Yeah, you too were right. I'll never forget this. Carol smiled softly. That's all we wanted, Emily. For us to share something special. And they were right. Sometimes life's best moments aren't about perfection, winning, or even being good at something. Sometimes they're just about saying yes, laughing until your stomach hurts, and making memories with the people you love most. That summer, my two aunts reminded me that family isn't about being serious all the time. Sometimes it's about glitter cowboy hats, silly dance routines, and a little bit of chaos that turns into something beautiful. Even now, whenever I hear that old country song on the radio, I can't help but smile, remembering the night we line danced our way into each other's hearts.